We have been working hard to put together these 5 plays. Sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the show. We'll be performing Robin Hood and the Silver Trophy. Long, long ago, a band of outlaws lived in Sherwood Forest near the town of Nottingham. The outlaws stole money from the wealthy people who traveled through the forest. They gave much of this money to poor peasants who were treated very badly by the cruel sheriff of Nottingham.
We are afraid to travel through Sherwood Forest. The outlaws who live there rob us.
I will capture the outlaws and you will be able to travel through the forest again.
But no matter how hard he tried, the sheriff always failed. The leader of the outlaws was called Robin Hood, and he and his men had made a home for themselves deep within the forest. There, they practiced archery until they could shoot the king's deer from 100 paces.
We are now the best archers in the country.
And you are the greatest archer of all, Robin. You are now famous throughout the land.
Whenever the sheriff's men rode toward the forest, one of the outlaws, hidden in a tall tree, would see them coming. The outlaw would send a warning signal to his friends. But one day, the sheriff thought of a plan to catch Robin.
Robin Hood is known as the best archer in the land, so I will hold an archery contest. The prize will be a silver trophy, and all the top archers will be invited to compete for it. I'll send messengers to spread the word.
But can you be sure that Robin Hood will come?
Robin Hood is certain to hear about this contest, and when he comes to compete, I will have him captured.
So the sheriff sent word throughout the land that there would be a great archery contest in Nottingham, and the prize would be a trophy made out of pure gold.
The sheriff is setting the trap for Robin. I think you're right. You will persuade Robin to take part in the contest.
But when Robin Hood heard about the silver trophy, he would not listen to their advice.
That trophy shall be mine, and I shall win it in a fair competition. Do not worry, my friend, I will disguise myself well. If you must go, then we will come with you.
On the day of the contest, Robin dressed himself all in black. He chose his strongest bow to take with him, and he placed his finest arrows in his quiver.
Let us be on our way!
The 3 outlaws set off through the forest together. When they reached the town of Nottingham, they mingled with the crowds who were heading toward the long meadow. There, they watched the sheriff's men setting up the targets.
Those targets are no distance at all from where the archers will stand. I can shoot much farther than that.
The sheriff took his place on the platform and searched the crowd for Robin.
I cannot see him anywhere. This plan of mine must work. Robin Hood has to be caught.
A trumpet sounded and all the archers stepped forward.
The contest is about to begin. I will go and join the other archers. Take care. The sheriff will be looking for you.
One by one, the archers fired their arrows at the targets. But after the first round, nearly all of them were out of the contest. Many arrows had reached the outer circles, but only 2 had hit the center ring. One of them belonged to a soldier, and the other to Robin.
That man in black must be Robin Hood. Let us seize him now.
No, wait. We will know for certain after he has shot his arrows.
Stand back. I'll have my turn first.
One of the soldier's arrows hit the outer circle. Then, the next 2 hit the center ring.
Hurrah!
Then it was Robin's turn. He stepped up to the line and took careful aim. His arrow sped straight toward the center ring.
Robin's arrow has hit the center.
Hurrah! Robin aimed at the target for a second time.
His second arrow hit the center.
Hurrah! flew straight and true and split his first arrow right down the shaft.
Only Robin Hood can shoot like that. Seize him at once, man.
Hurry, Little John. The sheriff's men are going to capture Robin. We must save him.
But the crowd was surging forward, and there were people everywhere. Will Scarlet and Little John were swept along toward Robin. As Robin began to run, he snatched the silver trophy from the table.
I have won the contest and this trophy is mine.
Robin, come with us.
I can't see Robin Hood anywhere. Everyone is getting in our way. We must not let him escape.
But the sheriff's men lost sight of Robin. The three outlaws moved steadily through the crowd toward the trees on the edge of the meadow. At last they reached the safety of Sherwood Forest, and they were soon running along the path they knew so well. The outlaws hurried through the trees until they came to a clearing where their friends were waiting. There was a great shout of joy as the three men appeared.
Robin has won the silver trophy. He is the finest archer in the land. Let us have a feast and celebrate.
And so all the outlaws joined together in a great feast and listened to the story of how Robin Hood had once more outwitted the Sheriff of Nottingham. We will be performing Cinderella. Once upon a time there was a rich man who had a beautiful daughter called Ella. His wife had died long ago, and he had married again. His second wife was unkind to Ella. She made her work hard all day long, and Ella's clothes became ragged and torn. The stepmother had brought her two ugly daughters with her. They were both as unkind as their mother.
Go and make the beds, Ella. Then do the moss and scrub the floors.
When evening came, Ella was always tired. She would sit down by the fire in the ashes and cinders to rest and keep warm.
Look at you down in the dirty ashes. We are going to call you Cinderella because you're always sitting in the cinders. But why are they unkind to me? I'm so sad and lonely.
Then one day, a special invitation arrived for Cinderella's stepmother and the two ugly stepsisters. They were very excited.
Look, the king is going to hold a grand ball at the palace. You can make new dresses for all of us. We must have the most beautiful clothes to wear to the ball. The king's son will be there. I hear he's looking for a wife. He might choose me.
On the night of the grand ball, Cinderella helped her stepmother and her ugly stepsisters get dressed in their new gowns. Then she watched them drive away.
Oh, how I wish we could go to the ball. I'm your fairy godmother and I can help you go to the ball. Follow me.
Cinderella followed her fairy godmother into the garden.
I will turn this pumpkin into a coach. I will turn the 6 gray mice into 6 gray horses to pull the coach. And a rat will become your coachman. Now you can go to the ball, Cinderella. But I cannot go to the ball in these ragged clothes. Look, you are now wearing the loveliest gown in all the land. And I have beautiful glass shoes too. Oh, thank you, fairy godmother. You can be on your way now, my child, but there is one thing to remember. You must leave the ball by midnight because then the magic will end and your clothes will be rags again. I will not forget. Goodbye.
Cinderella walked into the ballroom and everyone turned to look at her. The prince danced with her all night.
Who's the beautiful girl? We have never seen her before.
Everyone wanted to know who she was. Cinderella was having such a wonderful time that she forgot to look at the clock. The chimes of midnight began to ring out.
It is midnight. I must go.
Cinderella ran out of the ballroom and down the palace steps. One of her glass shoes came off, but she could not stop.
Come back, come back. Oh no, she has gone. I will get my servants to take this shoe to every house in the land tomorrow. Whoever it fits will become my wife.
The next day, the prince's servant went from house to house with the glass shoe. Every woman in the land tried it on. At last, the servants arrived at Cinderella's house. The ugly stepsisters ran to meet them.
Let me try the shoe. It will fit me. No, give me here. It is my shoe. Stop fighting over that shoe. I will try it. Oh no, it'll not fit me either.
Every woman in the land must try this shoe.
But that is only Cinderella. She can't wear such a fine shoe.
Let me see if the shoe will fit you.
Cinderella slipped her foot into the shoe.
It fits me because it's my shoe.
Suddenly, Cinderella's fairy godmother appeared again. She waved her wand, and once more Cinderella was wearing her beautiful gown and both glass shoes.
So it was Cinderella at the ball.
She was the beautiful girl who danced on the prince. Come to the palace with us, Cinderella. The prince is waiting for you.
Cinderella went back to the palace with the servants. The prince was delighted to see her again.
Will you marry me and become my wife?
And so Cinderella and the prince were married, and they lived happily ever after. We will be performing The Bear and the Trolls. Once upon a time, far away in the north of the world, a man called Finn had a great white bear called Bjorn. He was a very fine bear indeed, and Finn decided that such a splendid animal should be given to the king.
Well, Bjorn is a long, long way to the king's castle. All through the summer and autumn we've been out on the road. We have tramped uphill and downhill. Now it is winter and the road is taking us away from the sea and into the mountains. Bear, bear, bear! Yes, it's very cold today. No wonder I think it's the shortest day of the year. Bear, bear, bear! Yes, it's midwinter day. We still have far to go. Here we are in the pine forest, in the mountains, and it's starting to snow. It's getting dark. Where am I going to spend the night? I'm feeling cold. Bear, bear, bear! Oh, thank goodness, there's a little so I think we come in.
Yes, what is it?
Please, can you give me shelter for the night?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
But it's snow and I have nowhere else to go. Please let me come in.
I'm very sorry. I will welcome you any other night of the year, but not tonight. It's midwinter night, you see.
We can't stay here ourselves tonight.
We're going into the woods. We have to get away from our home and hide.
I can see that you're all bundled up in warm clothes. Whatever is the matter.
It's the trolls. Every midwinter night they come out of the woods and feast in our house. We can't stop them. No one can stop trolls. They eat everything they can find and wreck the house.
We used to sit down with them and share the feast, but now they behave so badly we keep out of their way. We can't bear to watch them.
Last year they spilled honey all over the floor, and the trolls were for the pillow. The trolls come every midwinter night without fail. So this year we're going to shelter in a little hut I've built in the woods. There's only just room for the four of us. I don't know where you can go. I'm very sorry about all this.
I'm not afraid of mischievous trolls. I wouldn't mind sleeping in your cottage. You go into the woods, however, and I will stay with my bear. Bjorn will keep me from harm, won't he, Bjorn?
So Halvard and his family took a lantern and set off, and Finn and his bear went into the cottage. Bjorn lay down under the table, and Finn curled up in a dark corner. He covered himself with some blankets and dozed. Then at midnight he was disturbed by the sound of voices.
Here's the cottage. Let's open the door.
Let's climb the windows. Now we can help ourselves to food. Here's some red cabbage. And here's a jar of pickled onion.
I'm stirring the porridge. I will walk for it.
Here's tahini. Ooh, it's slippery. Cheese is my favorite food.
Bread and honey, that's what I like best.
Just look at all those strings of sausages. I'll throw some down. Get ready to catch.
I've spilled some porridge.
I've dropped a hearing, but I don't care.
What a mess, what fun. This honey's been all over the floor.
And I've trotted on the sausage.
The trolls were so busy misbehaving that they didn't notice Finn hiding under the blankets. But then they saw Bjorn.
I can see a big pussycat with the
Cheese.
The troll danced away with the sausage just out of reach. This made Bjorn very angry indeed, and she hurled herself forward, swiping at the trolls with her great paws and chasing them around and around the cottage. The trolls were terrified and whispered as they ran out the door and fled into the woods.
Good bear, well done, but there's rid of all this stuff. You can eat it all up if you like. Good bear, the cottage looks tidy again. Now we can get back to sleep. In the morning, I shall tell Oliver how you chased the trolls away. Then we will be on our way to the king's castle, where I know the king will make us welcome.
A whole year went by. Once again, it was midwinter day, and Halvor was out in the forest chopping wood and feeling worried.
Howard.
I'm here. What is it? We want you to know we will all remember your big white cat. We don't want to believe you again. Suppose she has some kittens?
Just suppose she has. They would be just like her, wouldn't they? Rather few.
So we'll never come to your house and have a midwinter feast again. So there.
Oh dear, how sad.
Halvor found it hard to keep the smile off his face as he walked home to tell his family.
Good news.
What is it?
The trolls say they are never coming back.
And they never did.
They won't come back. Those trolls have had a fright. Our family can safely be at home this winter night. That's all, folks.
We will be performing Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, there was a rich merchant who had 3 daughters. He called his youngest daughter Beauty. She was very beautiful and very kind. The 2 older sisters were jealous of her. One day, the merchant told his daughter some bad news.
All my ships have been lost at sea. Now we have no money. We must move to a small cottage in the country. But I want fine clothes and jewels.
I want to live in this big house.
I do not mind, Father. Do not worry.
Weeks went by. Then the merchant heard that one of his ships had reached the port. He would be rich again.
What can I bring back for you? I want some jewels.
I want some fine clothes.
All that I want is a rose.
But when the merchant got to the port, he found that his ship had been sold. The merchant would never be rich again. Sadly, he made his way back home. The night was dark and his horse stumbled along in the icy wind.
I have to find shelter soon or I'll die of the cold.
At last, the merchant saw a light shining through the trees. It was coming from a magnificent castle.
This castle is very strange. The stable door was open for my horse, and these rooms are warm and bright. But there is no one here. I'm so hungry I must eat the food.
When the merchant had eaten, he lay down and slept. In the morning, he found that his clothes were clean and dry once more.
I wish I could thank the owner of this castle for his kindness. I'll just take one of these roses.
As the merchant picked the rose, there was a loud roar, and the most ugly beast the merchant had ever seen appeared before.
So this is how you repay me for saving your life.
The rose is for my youngest daughter, please, please do not kill me.
Bring one of your daughters here to live with me, or you shall die within 3 months.
When the merchant arrived home, he wept as he told his daughters all that had happened.
Do not worry, Father. I will go and live with the beast. Yes, you should go, Beauty. It was all your fault.
It was you who asked for the rose.
The merchant was very troubled as he rode with Beauty to the castle. As they drew near, the beast appeared with a dreadful roar.
Father, the beast is so ugly and so frightening. But do not worry. I will wait for you.
Go now, leave your daughter here with me.
Beauty was tired after the long ride. She lay down to sleep. While she slept, she dreamed that her goodness would be rewarded. The next morning, Beauty discovered a room with her name on the door. Inside, she saw many beautiful things.
The beast is very kind. He has given me all of these things. He can't mean to harm me.
That evening, as she ate her meal, there was a loud roaring sound, and the beast appeared.
Beauty, do you think I am ugly?
Yes, I do. I cannot tell a lie, but you are very kind to me.
I will leave you to have your meal, but I must ask you one more thing. Will you marry me, Beauty?
I could never marry you.
Every evening, the beast came to watch Beauty eat her meal. He always asked her the same question.
Beauty, will you marry me?
Dear beast, I enjoyed listening to you talk, but I cannot say yes to your question.
One day, news came that Beauty's father was ill.
Please let me go back home to see my father.
If you do not return, I shall die.
I promise I will return in 1 week.
Wear this ring. When you are ready to come back, take it off, and you will find yourself at the castle.
When Beauty reached home, her father was overjoyed to see her.
Look at all her beautiful things.
She should give some of them to us.
Beauty gave them all her fine clothes and jewels. For 2 weeks, she cared for her sick father.
I must return to the beast. Last night I dreamed that he had died because I broke my promise to him.
In an instant, Beauty was back at the castle. She searched every room before she found the beast lying ill in the garden.
Dear beast, please don't die. I love you. I want to marry you.
All at once, the castle was filled with bright lights and a handsome prince stood beside her.
Where is the beast?
I am the beast, Beauty. You have saved me. A cruel spell kept me in the shape of the beast until you promised to be my wife.
The prince and Beauty were married and lived happily ever after. The first animal to walk into the clearing was a large black bear.
This old brown, I've never seen anything like this before. It smells strange, and it must be a Tuscan of some fruit that I don't know about. It has turned brown like an old banana skin.
Then a handsome tiger came prowling out of the long grass and stopped to look.
This old brown skin smells strange, and I don't know what food it is. Can you tell me?
I agree, it smells odd, but it is nothing like a food. It smells too salty to be a food. I think it's a kind of fish. Take a look at a tree.
It does look rather like a fish, but it's not a fish because it has no fins and no scales. It must be a sort of banana skin.
An inquisitive monkey dropped down from the branches and scampered over to look.
Let me see. No, you're both wrong. I eat lots of nuts and I can tell a nutshell when I see one. It's
not a nutshell.
Anyway, this nutshell is too old to bother about. The nut they used to fit inside has gone and there's nothing left to eat.
It's not a nutshell. It's a skin that once belonged to a fruit.
It can't be a skin from a fruit and it can't be a nutshell. It's definitely a kind of fish.
Then a spotted deer stepped into the clearing.
I've been listening and I had to say that you are all wrong. This thing is a piece of bark that has fallen from a tree. It's not a piece of bark!
Aline Wolf heard all the noise and trotted into the clearing to look at the shoe.
I know what it is. It's a bird's nest. Look, the eggs would have fit at its end where there was room for the mother bird to sit. But one of the eggs must have broken and gone bad. That's why it smells strange.
It's not a bird's nest! It's not!
It's a fruit.
Oh, it's a fish. It's a nutshell! It's a piece of bark.
Oh, it's a bird's nest. I'm sure it is.
The noise the animal made woke up a tawny owl who had been sleeping in a hole in a tree. He hooted as he climbed out.
Tweet, 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 tweet. What a howl. You have woken me up with a howl. Let me see this thing that you're arguing about so loudly. I may be able to tell you what it is.
So the owl flew down to look at the shoe.
Aha! Sometimes I fly far from the jungle and see strange things in the distant places. Yes, I have seen one of these before. It is not a fruit, nor is it a fish or a nut or a piece of bark or a bird's nest. It's a man's shoe.
A shoe. What is a shoe? And what is a man?
You ask, what is a man? A man is a strange animal who stands on two legs just as I do, but he is not a bird. He can't fly and he has no feathers. He has to make his own.
Make his own feathers? That's ridiculous. You must be joking.
I'm not joking. Men do make their own feathers, and because their skin is thin and soft, their feet are easily hurt. Men make things called shoes to put on their feet. Shoes stop their soft feet from getting hurt.
Soft feet. That can't be true. My feet aren't soft. I have very hard hooves. No one in the world could walk on soft feet. The idea is absurd.
Animals don't put things on their feet.
Men do make shoes to put on their feet, whatever you think.
Men can't make things. No animal make things. Animal just find things.
Men can make things. They make many things. They can even make fire. Men are clever and dangerous animals, believe me.
Animals with only 2 legs, soft feet, and no feathers can't be dangerous.
You must be crazy.
You have just made up a silly story. You are not telling the truth. Whatever that thing is not a man's shoe!
We don't want someone like you living with us in a beautiful green jungle. As you won't tell the truth, you had better get out.
Whoa, be off with you.
Yes, be off with you.
You had better go now! Go, or we shall have to make you.
Go, go.
Then all the animals turned on the owl. They roared and growled and screeched and howled and chased him through the trees.
Well, I don't want to stay with you. I'm going to fly away to the distant part of the jungle where I can live in peace. I am telling the truth, whatever you say.
The owl flew away, leaving all the other animals behind him.
It's true, it's a shoe. It's true, it's a shoe. Tweet, tweet, tweet.
Of course, the owl was right, absolutely right, even though no one believed him. And one day the animals would find out how right he was, but that is in another story. This concludes our show. Thank you, families, for coming to our reading celebration. We hope you enjoyed our show. Have a spectacular day.